Hi everybody, how are we doing today? Welcome to my Thursday live, my weekly mindset show. Gosh, it's been a busy week. It's been a really busy week. I've been running my From Stuck to Unstoppable challenge this week. So it's been crazy busy. Crazy busy, but what a fabulous week we are having. So if you are here live, just drop me a hey in the comments, say hello, pop in, come and say hello. Bonjour Chantal, how are you doing? And if you're catching up on replay, do remember to do a hashtag replay and I can come in and see all your comments later on today. So, hey Hazel, lovely to see you. So this one, I'm just going to move that over a little bit. It's actually starting to drop a little bit. And I think all this talking this week, I'm a bit hoarse, so hopefully you can all hear me okay on this very cold day today, really cold. So today's session is all about self-belief and self-esteem because, hey Lucy, lovely to see you. So as I've just said, I'm running my From Stuck to Unstoppable challenge this week, my training this week, and I've got an amazing group of ladies in there, an amazing group. And there is actually, if you want to come in and sign up and you can catch up on all of the videos, we are on the last day today, but the videos are all recorded so you can dive in and see them still there. So you can still sign up. Now, one of the things that has come up this week has been a lot about self-belief and self-esteem. So this is feeling scared and anxious, powerless almost to change anything. This is when you can actually become a bit obsessed with being perfect or a people pleaser or, feeling frustrated that you think that you've got nothing to bring to the table. And one of the things that's really come through on the thread this week is about being, knowing that you could achieve more. You know that there's something in there that you could really achieve more, but you think you've got nothing to bring to the table yourself. So our inner critic of that self-doubt that keeps coming up, and so a lot of it has come up this week, but we are nailing it this week. I know Lucy's in the group, Chantal's in the group, and it's an amazing group, isn't it, this week? And we are seeing so many transformations all the way through the week. It's absolutely amazing. So I am absolutely loving it. It's just not great for your throat talking every single day. Yay, your voice also suffers. Yes, Chantal. So firstly, I think the one thing we want to say is that a lot of the things that have come up this week is about feeling that like not good enough and comparing yourself to other people. But it's actually, it's perfectly okay perfectly normal to lack confidence in situations when you're out of your comfort zone. And I've really been pushing these ladies out of their comfort zone this week. Lucy, would you agree with that? That, I've been pushing you out of the comfort zone because I know they want it. These ladies, they want it really badly. And so I've been stretching them and yeah, I'm completely delighted in watching these transformations, but I do know that I am pushing them. Or when when you're faced with new things, it's perfectly normal to do that. Hey Karen, lovely to see you. But if your self-esteem is really low, that you're struggling to kind of actually function, or it's really having a negative impact, on your mental health or on your life, it can really stop you in your tracks and not move forward in your business. And that's what, my course is called From Stuck to Unstoppable, because these beliefs that you're carrying can stop you in your tracks. They can get you stuck and mean that you don't take action. So today's session, I'm just going to go through some common thoughts around, having that lack of self-belief and having that low self-esteem. And then I'm going to give you some tips to actually bust it as well today. So just some really simple tips that can really start moving you forward. Oh, hey, Christina. Lovely to see you too. Oh, you're having a day off at last. Lucky you. Yay. God, what are those? Do we even know what days off are anymore? We're all sort of blending them into one, aren't we? It's really quite strange. So, okay. So the first one of the first things then, of these common thoughts that we might have is when you're obsessed with being perfect. And I know for me, I openly admit that perfectionism is one aspect that I still work on. Because it's very easy if there's any self-sabotaging behaviours that I fall into, perfectionism is one of them. So I'm very mindful of that. Thank you, Living the Hair. Oh gosh, thank you we do need to really rebook. It was a really great session last time, wasn't it, Christina? So we do need to book in for that. So you are as well, Lucy, with the perfectionism. It's a real pain in the butt, actually, isn't it? But the more and more you can become aware of it, the more that you can take the action to deal with it. So actually, it's one of the kind of more destructive aspects of the low self-esteem. And, if it's like me, it's that constant sort of feeling that no matter how much I do, it's never going to feel quite enough. So you overcompensate on it. Yeah, done is better than perfect, Chantal. Absolutely. Yeah, you wasn't aware before. It's one of those things that, once you become aware of it, it really is, you've got to work on it. So to combat it, set yourself some realistic expectations. Hey, Nikki, really lovely to see you. So set yourself up to win. Because often what we do when you've got this sort of trait is that, we're discouraged by our abilities with what we achieve because we've set the goals way too high in the first place. So we've set them, I don't know about you, Lucy, if you also have this, but you kind of set them so high that they're almost impossible and you work yourself over and over to do it. So the first thing is to actually start setting yourself smaller goals that you can win easily, so that you can actually start building up that success list that you've got. I kind of have a little journal and on my program, on my Mega Success Mindset Accelerator program, we have a wins list. We have a wins list. So, we actually keep track of all of our wins because it's so easy to forget the smaller things because we've built things up that we've got to achieve these big stuff that we forget that actually it's the small steps, consistent action on top of each other that actually gets us our overall success. Hey Sam, lovely to have you here. So I want you to actually be thinking of that because, life is imperfect, isn't it? There is no perfect of anything anyway. So if you can actually strive for those smaller things and build them up, it's better than having that big one that you are actually sort of almost setting yourself up for failure on that. So keep that list of all of your achievements. When someone has sort of complimented you on something, if they've left you a review or any of those smaller things that, all of your achievements that you've got, keep that list of them. Keep the list of them to remind you of the times that you have done really well, that you've done that. So as we've said there, progress over perfectionism. I have so many ladies, and there's been a few this week that, because we're moving from stuck to unstoppable, that actually they've admitted that, they're not taking the action, they're not taking the steps, and perfectionism can actually stop us taking the action, So taking action is the most important thing to do. Marie, you always come up, what's that? You always come up with the right things to say. Can I move in with you, please? Yeah, I love having you on the programme, Marie. I really love you and you've made so many strides, but yay, there's more and more. We always have that, yeah. We've got a great relationship here, so yeah, I'm glad to be of assistance there, Marie. Not sure the husband would have what he'd say about you moving in, but hey ho. Okay, so the next one is also recognise that there is no failure. It's one of my favourite NLP sayings. There is no failure, only feedback. So recognise that there isn't any failure. It's better to start something and to tweak it rather than not start at all. You know, and remember, if something doesn't work out first time, there's a huge difference, a massive difference between failing at something that you do and being a failure as a person. So don't confuse the two of those. And actually, I just believe anyway that everything we do is a learning experience. It's a learning opportunity for us. So if something doesn't work out exactly how you'd got it planned, just see it as some feedback for you and how can you tweak it and move forward. Okay, next one on my list then is those, and again, this has come up a lot this week, about sort of thinking that you've got nothing to bring to the table. That, you know, we've got that deep-rooted sense of lack of self-worth that comes from believing that somehow we are not as valuable as others, that what other people are doing, and we see it such a lot online at the moment. There's so many online people that are doing XYZ, and it's very easy to compare ourselves to them. So it's important to really understand that, you know, we need to build ourselves up here. It can't be, feeling worthy can't be given to us by other people. So actually comparing yourself to others is not going to increase your self-worth at all. It really isn't. So just accept there that we all come with our own unique talents, every single one of them. One of the things that I love doing, and what I've seen so much this week in my training, is that there are so many talented ladies out there. So many in my group this week. I mean, we've got over 250 ladies in my group. And what I love with what I, you know, with running these trainings that I do is I can pull out all of these potential in these ladies. Honestly, the difference between where we are today and where we were on Monday when we started, I am seeing these ladies, every single one of them have made that decision that they are being unstoppable, absolutely unstoppable, and they are really doing that. And it's all starting to shine through. It's so fantastic. So take pride in your talents and your skills, what that you've got, because people will love you for how you are. You know, I think that's what the great thing is. There is, you know, abundance for everyone. There's room for everyone. There's room for everybody to showcase their talents. So stop thinking others are better than you. You know, it's great to admire people. It's great to be inspired by people out there. You know, that's why we have mentors and coaches, you know, because we're looking up to those people. We're looking up to them and we're inspired by them. You know, I'm inspired by my coach. And I hope that the ladies that have been in my group this week are, you know, that I've inspired them. That's what I want to do. But there's a difference there between thinking that those people are better than you. You know, admire those people's traits, but not at the expense of your own. And be aware as well, be aware that we teach others how we treat ourselves. So practice kind of projecting yourself as someone whose opinions are just as valid as other people. And you will just suddenly notice your own self-worth will rise and rise and rise when you're doing that. So, you know, keep celebrating your own successes and actually feel worthy that you are there, you know, to be heard as well. Your point of view is as valid as anybody else's. Okay, next one of those kind of common self-belief, self-esteem problems that we have is that we get fearful and anxious. And as we've talked about this week, fear is one of those, I call it the dream killer. Fear is the dream killer. But I've given these ladies some real fabulous tips this week to actually beat that fear. So I'm already seeing them moving forward. But I want you to, again, you know, notice that actually fear and belief, or, you know, lack of belief, can actually make you feel powerless to change anything. So I want you, as one of the tips to do here, is to discriminate between kind of genuine fear and then the unfounded ones, because we can almost build fear up into something that it's not. Fear and excitement, for instance, are on the same level. You know, you can think you feel fear, but actually if you reframe it to say, God, I'm excited about that, it's on the same level as you. So I want you to challenge your anxieties with the facts. So, you know, if you are actually sort of saying to yourself, oh, I'm not even going to, you know, it's pointless even going, setting up my own business, or I'm not going to go for that change of direction and go for that promotion at work, for instance, because I just don't believe I'm going to get it. Then how true is that statement? How true is the statement when you look at the evidence? When you look at the evidence there, is that really true? Do you know that you're not going to get the job? No, you don't. And you certainly won't if you don't even go for it. So look at how factual the statement is of the fear. The next one, and this is one of my favourites, and one of the tips that I've shared with the group this week, is to remember that there will always be fear. Fear it's always there. It's always going to be around to keep us, you know, to try and keep us safe, because that's his job. So bring it along for the ride. I always kind of say, put it in the passenger seat in the car, but don't let it take hold of the steering wheel. So use it to motivate you to move forward rather than holding you back. Because actually, as you bring it along and it becomes your motivator, you suddenly start boosting your own confidence and your abilities as you go. So it's absolutely fantastic to bring fear along for the ride. It's not the enemy. Okay, and the last one is if you think that you're a people pleaser. And again, this is another one of those common things that has come up this week. That, you know, you have this need to feel that you need to please others so that they actually like you or, you know, love you. Okay? So we have this constant need to please other people. And again, it's an example of sort of low self-esteem. So let me know if any of these are resonating with you as I'm saying, as I've kind of gone into just telling you these today, but I haven't asked you, are these resonating with you? Are these things that you can actually acknowledge? Because, you know, they're very simple. These are really simple tips to try and put in straight away today. So with the people pleaser, I want you to set your boundaries, set your personal boundaries. Learn how to say no, because your own worth does not depend on others' approval. You know, again, people like and they love you for who you are, not what you can do for them. So actually think about setting your boundaries. And to finish today's session, I want you to also now visualize yourself as you want to be. So if we got rid of these common problems that we're not suffering with, that's not the right word, but we find that are stopping us moving forward, then visualize yourself as you want to be. Because actually what the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. That's Napoleon Hill. So when we use a visualization technique to see an image of ourselves that we're really proud of in our own mind, you know, then it's a great way of overcoming that low self-confidence and that poor perception we've got of ourselves. So I want you to practice visualizing that fantastic version of you, where you are achieving all the goals that you want to achieve, that you are propelling yourself forward, that you are doing everything that you want to do to be who you want to be. Have a fabulous rest of the day. Do remember, if you've not signed up for the From Stuck to Unstoppable, you can still sign up now. You will need to catch up, but they're all in the unit section. of the 4 days worth, and it's well worth you doing that. So, and I've got some exciting news coming next week, so look out for that too. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'm just about, well, in an hour I'll be going live in the group, in the From Stuck to Unstoppable group, and today's session is on money mindset, which is such a big one. And we've got some huge transformations that are going to happen today. Have a wonderful rest of the day, guys, and I will see you again next week. Bye for now.